Okay, so I'm gonna do a host rock tumble. This might turn out terrible, I don't know, because these rocks are really rough, but I saw a little beauty to them. Like you can see, these were nodules that were cut open, and I wanted to give them a second chance at life. Some of these, you could see the chalcedony or the quartz. By that waxy look, I have no idea what they'll end up looking like. So I just want to kind of tumble some of the host rock off and see what lies beneath. This one looks like a dinosaur egg. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to see how it turns out. So I'm going to put these guys in. Here we want to do 2 scoops for every pound. I'm going to fill it to just above where the rocks are, and then put it on for about a week, and we'll check on it. We'll probably have to retumble a lot of these because, as you saw, they're quite rough, and maybe put them on for another week, but we will check on them in a week and see how they're looking. Really thick, which is not surprising. So let's wash this slurry down. There we go. Knock that off. When they were wet, they looked really nice, as always. But now they just look plain. But it's really cool because I tumbled one of these failed cut open nodules, and a lot of this extra stuff came off, and you can see the chalcedony really shining through this like bluish white color. These are gonna need, I think, more time in grit 1, and we're gonna need to add some friends. I'm gonna add some more of these cut open nodules, but I think I'm gonna have to add a lot of these untumbled jaspers waiting to be with their friends. I don't know. Anyways, this is the result so far. Sorry for the shaky camera action. And yeah, another 9 days on the tumble of grit 1, and we'll see what they look like, and hopefully we can move on to grit 2. That was to be expected. Let's see what these look like. I think I'm gonna need a bath before we go to grit 2. My tumbler needs a good bath too. As you can see, that is really thick. We had a lot of extra host rock I'm trying to tumble down. Still my favorite. Looks like a dinosaur egg. Still don't know what it is, but I like it. Let's give it a bath. Okay, when I was rinsing these out, I said I was going to put them through a cleaning cycle, but you can see we have just lost so much volume. And it already, half of this is from the ceramic media, so I'm not going to add more. I think what I'm going to do is just clean these with soap and water in this bowl, and then of course dump it outside when I'm done. Yeah. When you're trying to tumble off the host rock, you're going to end up with a lot of volume loss. So maybe tumbling these cut open nodules is not the best idea. I'm going to find some way to get this off, some other way, because tumbling is just not very resourceful. So I think I'm just going to do 1 week of grit 1 with this jar of jaspers. Try to pick out the smoothest ones as possible, so we can just get this show on the road. Alright, we're just gonna go okay. Alright, I'm gonna choose from this pile of quartz and jasper to go over 1 week of grit 1, so we have enough filler rocks to see the end result. We'll see how these look in a week. Jasper quartz buddies to the rescue. Good. point in this tumbles process, I had learned something I did not know before, and that is a lot of what I thought were poor quality jaspers I was collecting were actually pieces of quartzite, which makes sense why they weren't polishing as well as some of my other jaspers. But I now know the difference. For instance, that's quartzite, that's jasper, quartzite, quartzite. Okay, we have a lot of quartzite. And that's a piece of chalcedony, agate, more quartzite, basalt. Yeah, it's kind of a disaster. Here's that final reveal of these polished rocks. They are not looking so hot. I think a lot of these could have been polished longer or just tumbled longer. And some of these just aren't the kind of rocks you would tumble altogether. I was just curious to see what they would look like. So lessons I learned from this tumble: do not tumble agate nodules. It's just a waste of space and a waste of grit, and then you have to keep filling up and taking time to tumble more rocks so you have more filler, and just don't do it. Also, don't tumble basalt. It looks really pretty wet, but no matter how much you want it to look that way, after it's polished, it's just not going to look that way. Also, I need to stop trying to tumble quartzite with my chalcedonies because they're just not strong enough and they get really bruised, and this happens every time. Also, it's important to know the proper names of the rocks that you're making a video about. And on a side note, don't have your children hold your camera while making a video. It can make things very shaky. But anyways, they're still pretty.